5-day Amazon Ad Profit Challenge sponsored by Amazon Ad School. I'm Brian Cohen, and I'm very excited for you to jump into the day number 0, video number 0 today. What are we going to talk about? Well, if you've never run an Amazon ad, we are going to walk you through getting into your account, making sure that everything is working as it should be. We are going to go cherry pick the easiest Amazon ad to create, and we're also going to get a very easy line of Amazon ad copy, the words for your ads. Now, this challenge is all about getting you profit. That is the number one goal. Everything we do, everything we teach, every piece of homework we assign you is meant to help you turn a profit. So everything we do, everything we recommend is in the spirit of that goal. So if you are interested in continuing to make more profit or to start making profit for the first time, today is the day to jump on in. So let's get right to it and get into the video. Welcome to the prep work video. This is essentially day number 0 for the 5-day Amazon Ad Profit Challenge. Here's the order of business for today: how to establish your baseline. That's what you're going to learn. You're also going to learn how to let Amazon choose targets for you and how to write ad copy in 30 seconds. Let's get into it. Big question. I imagine this is on everybody's mind in some ways more obvious than others. Will this challenge, will Amazon ads make me money? Well, Amazon ads can seem very confusing at first, and we kind of get bogged down by a lot of stats that don't matter, that actually get in the way of checking, will this make me money? When it comes down to it, the most important thing is profit. After all, this is the profit challenge. This isn't the orders or sales or royalties challenge. This is the profit challenge. That is our number one focus. Spend less, make more. And as we get into this, as we really get into this over the next 5+ days, it's going to become more clear to you, especially if you've been confused in the past, how books actually make money on Amazon ads. It's not by boosting bids through the roof, a bid being how much you pay for every click. It's not about getting some weird statistic called ACoS to be as low as humanly possible. It is about getting the lowest possible cost to earn the most possible royalties. And if your book is in good shape to earn more royalties and to earn more profit in the future, because hey, let's face it, some books, we've seen them, probably aren't going to make money on Amazon. But if your book is in good shape, then our ultimate aim here, the Best Page Forward and Amazon Ad School team, our ultimate goal is to help you spend less and increase your take-home pay. I do hope you're on board with that. I would be very surprised if you are not. So we're at the start of this process. The plan for the week is we are going to run ads to one or more of our books / series, a little more on that in the next couple of slides. And one of our difficult challenges here, one of our problems is that the tracking at Amazon is not effective. The Amazon ad dashboard does not show you accurate statistics for about 80% of what it shares with you. Clicks, pretty accurate. Ad spend, pretty accurate, though it's delayed. But there are certain stats: sales, orders, ACoS, which stands for advertising cost of sale. These are not accurate statistics, so we can't make decisions on which ads to use by looking at those. Amazon ads, you might be surprised by this, don't even track Kindle Unlimited borrows. Kindle Unlimited being if your book is exclusive through Amazon, you are in the KDP Select program, which allows people to read your book through Kindle Unlimited, where you get paid by the page. And Amazon ads don't track any of that. They track 0% of your KU borrows and pages read, which in some genres, some subgenres of romance, could count as much as 80% of your royalties. So if you are using those above statistics to figure out your ads, you are going to be in trouble because Amazon ads don't track those things. So in order to figure out our profitability this week and going forward, we are going to need to look in another place to figure out if our book's current monthly royalties are leading to a profit or a loss. So the reason we do this is to determine, will we spend less money over the course of the next week than we earned? That is the big goal. That is us determining, can we get one profitable ad campaign or more? So we're going to start simply here. Whether you're running your first ad or your 100th ad or your 1,000th ad, we are going to set up the closest thing Amazon has to just pushing a button and you getting an ad. We're going to use auto-targeted ads. These use your book's own categories, keywords, and title, the things you set up when you published your book, to generate potential advertising targets. Theoretically, if you got your categories, your keywords, and your title right, if they fit your genre, this should put your book in front of titles that are very similar to yours. That another word that Amazon likes to use is relevant, that you are placing your book in front of relevant titles to yours. But there can be some potential hiccups there of getting your book in front of the right people through those auto ads. I'm going to get into that today. Now, we cannot ignore that there are a lot of things happening in the world right now. There is a massive global event. And to not mention that would be irresponsible on my part. And like you, I hear rumors, I see posts in Facebook group, people bemoaning their sales and saying no one's buying books, they're buying toilet paper. Or people are sitting at home clicking on ads because they're bored, or people are only getting free books or discounted books right now. But rumors and feelings are not data. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot over the course of the next 6 days. So instead, we're going to be focusing on numbers. And I'll tell you what, over the course of the last month, during the crisis, my sales have gone up. And so it is certainly not sales down across the board, no matter what you may hear. And so your stats, your ads are going to tell your own story. Now, we can't ignore things. Amazon is delaying the shipping and printing of some print-on-demand books. That can impact our immediate royalties. We cannot ignore that. But I do hope that this time over the course of the 5-day challenge, that it will be valuable for you for both education purposes and evidence that advertising can work even during the hardest of times. Here's what you're going to learn today in the prep work video. You're going to learn how to make sure your account is set up right and is in good standing to run ads. You're going to learn where you should look to establish your baseline to figure out how many sales you have without these new ads for the book that you're advertising. And you're going to learn what you need to know to set up your first or next sponsored product auto-targeted ad, also known as an SPA. And you're going to learn the easiest line of advertising copy being the words that go together with your ads, that will take you next to no brain power to create. Here's what you're going to need: an internet browser. This is way easier to do on a laptop or a desktop than on your phone. If you watch the video on your phone, I would go to your laptop or desktop to actually do the homework. Yes, there will be homework. I definitely recommend you have an Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing account. Look, if you are traditionally published or you work through a small press, there are workarounds. There are ways to make this work for you, but it's a bit of a challenge, and we won't be going into it directly during the event. You will need a spreadsheet or a text document to keep track of things. This is always an important thing. And you need approximately 30 minutes to watch, review the video, 30 to 60 minutes to do the homework. If you want to put that in a calendar, that is a smart thing to do. Now here's what's coming during the challenge. These are some teasers for the next couple of videos. You're going to learn during this challenge how to use a free plugin that can gather hundreds of keyword targets in under a minute, and it is not Yasiv. Folks who've watched the challenge before know that I talk about a website called Yasiv, which is currently not working. So we have an alternative for you, and we're going to share that later on in the challenge. You're also going to understand the best category research tool, how to use it in advertising and organic sales, and I will be teaching you the 5 types of ad copy you can write to get more targeted clicks for your books. We have not talked much about ad copy since way back in the September challenge, and we only talked about it once. We're going to talk about ad copy every single video in the challenge. And of course, much, much more. I always have a lot to share with you. So for this challenge, I recommend, if it's your first time doing it, pick one book and only run ads in the US. Yes, it is possible to run ads in other territories, but for this challenge, I recommend picking the United States only for your ads. If you have done the challenge before, I will give you the waiver to pick up to 3 books to run ads, 3 books or 3 series to run ads on during this challenge. Keep it simple. There's no need to overcomplicate things and then not have enough time to do all the work because you picked too many books in the beginning. The book or books you pick should be first in series or a box set or a standalone at regular price. Yes, you could be running a discount right now. I think you're going to learn more about your book during the challenge if it's at its regular price. Now, to keep the data cleaner, I recommend you only run Amazon ads during this time to the book that you're running them on. And you do not need to turn off your existing Amazon ads at this time. That is fine. Don't worry about it. But I recommend not complicating things by having Facebook or BookBub or other ads running at the same time. During the challenge, we are going to see how much the book earns relative to how much you spend. And that is going to determine your profit, which is why if you're running ads on 3 different platforms, it can get a little confusing. So, first things first. The first thing we absolutely must do, you can't skip this, we need to make sure this car has enough gas, right? So you need to, especially if you haven't done it in a while, sign into your Amazon KDP account, which is at kdp.amazon.com. Then you want to go to advertising.amazon.com. And you're going to sign in using the middle option, which is the advertising console option. For any reason, if it doesn't work, we do have a workaround. If you go to your KDP bookshelf and then you go to the book that you want to advertise, you can click the Promote and Advertise button, and then there's a drop-down menu. You can select Create an Ad Campaign. Now, we are going to do screen shares in every single video, so don't worry. I'm going to walk you through this process. Then, once you're in, scroll to the top left where there are 3 vertical lines. Choose from the drop-down menu, Billing and Payments. That is where you're going to check, is everything up to date? Do I have a credit card on file? Etc., etc. Make sure the account is up to date. If the account is not up to date, when you try to create an ad, which is called a campaign, when you try to create a campaign, it is going to say, sorry, you can't run this right now. So make sure everything is working as it should be. Now, for every book or series that we assess, we need to know how much it has earned without ads or with the existing ads we've been running to determine our profit with ads. If we don't get this number, we're not going to know how well the ads during the challenge do. Now, as I've told you, there are certain places to check and certain places not to check. The ad dashboard, not a good place to check. Even the regular KDP dashboard is not the most user-friendly because it doesn't share you the dollar amount, which is what we want to get to. Now, if you do own a tool like ReaderLinks or Book Report, that works well. Both of these are paid programs. But if you are not using those, you can use the KDP Beta Dashboard. You can find this at kdpreports.amazon.com. I have this linked in the post below this video where you can just click straight through to it. Whatever it is you use, though, to look at your royalties, it is essential you don't just look at your Amazon ad dashboard. If I had done this, I have an ad campaign that I ran from 2016 to 2018 where according to the Amazon ad dashboard, I spent $7,000 to earn $1,000. That means a $6,000 loss. But in reality, I earned over $14,000 in profit. So this could have cost me so much money if I had trusted the Amazon ad dashboard. Trust KDP Beta Reports. Don't trust the Amazon ad dashboard when it comes to your sales. So, why can't you check your ad account? I'm going to say it multiple times. The sales are tracked poorly. Even when an ad shows up as $0 in sales, it could be wrong, especially if your book is in KU. Checking ReaderLinks or Book Report or the KDP Beta Dashboard is the only way to know what we've earned in total from our advertising efforts. It is inconvenient, I agree, but you're going to get the hang of it when it's a part of your everyday or every week process. Now, you might want to see what I'm talking about. Well, I am happy to share. So let's get into the screen share here. Here we are. This is our Kindle Direct Publishing, our KDP page. And you can get to it at kdp.amazon.com. But let's say you want to go to the Amazon ad dashboard. You'll see that is at advertising.amazon.com. You're going to click the sign in button. You don't need to register if you already have a KDP account. Click the sign in button. As I said, you're not going to pick number 1. Not going to pick number 3. This is reminding me of Monty Python, the Holy Hand Grenade. Do not pick number 1. We are only going to pick number 2, the advertising console. Click through. Now, it lets me straight in, but if you are not let straight in, the backup way to get in is you go to your bookshelf. You can click bookshelf to get there. You go to your bookshelf. You go to the promote and advertise page. This is going to show you a run an ad campaign category here. And then you pick a marketplace. For this challenge, we're only running ads in the US. Click Amazon.com and click create an ad campaign. That should let you through if you're not able to get through. So let's go back to here. You see these top 3 vertical or horizontal lines. They're not vertical lines. They're horizontal lines. And we are going to go to billing and payments. And we're going to make sure with our payment settings that everything is how it should be. So we have our info there. And if your info is not there, obviously you want to set that effectively so you would manage your payment settings. Now, the other thing we want to check is our KDP Beta Report. So we're going to go to kdpreports.amazon.com. And we'll see this is our dashboard. This is reporting on our sales today. We are going to do a lot of looking at this month's sales before we have run our ads. Now, I have a lot of books. I think I have something like 60 books or so that are listed. So we're only going to look at one ad. Let's say we're looking at my ad for how to write a sizzling synopsis. We'll deselect everything. That puts us at 0. And then we can type in our book that we want to look at right here. So we type in your book, click that, and now we are seeing here is what I have earned, $73.67 this month so far. And you can see the different territories where I have earned money on this book. Yes, if you're only going to run ads to the US, you could just look at the US territories. But for now, we're going to keep things simple. This is what we earned on this book this month. So to remind you, kdpreports.amazon.com. We go to the royalties estimator. Now, it may cue you to say what KDP rate you want or what KENP. Those are Kindle Unlimited pages. You can choose last month's rate and US dollars. Once that comes up, you deselect your books, type in what book you want to look at, select it, and then it will show up. We are going to look at our baseline before, and we are going to look at our baseline after we've run the ads. So this is where you find it. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the group. Now, when we are trying to create ads, whether it be for the first time or the 50th time, it's helpful to go for the easiest ads, especially if you haven't done ads in a while or if you've never done them. Now, keyword ads, category ads require you to do a little bit of research beforehand. We're going to be talking about that research in video number 1 and video number 2. But auto-targeted ads, also known as sponsored product auto-targeted ads, SPA, the A is for auto, use our book's existing information to generate what we hope to be relevant targets. So, when you have set up your book with at least 2 categories and 7 KDP keywords, the keywords when you publish your book on KDP, Amazon sends your book out to titles like yours, similar to yours. I didn't mention it here, but your title and your subtitle are also a part of the equation here. This is why your categories and keywords matter. If your book is not in the right categories, or it has keywords that aren't relevant to your book, I saw there was some information going around that you should just type random stuff into your 7 KDP keywords. Obviously, if you just typed random Dadaism nonsense, it's not going to be relevant to your book. So obviously, that's important. If there's the wrong information going into this SPA, then the wrong ads will show up, or your book will show up in the wrong places. Junk in, junk out. If you cannot remember what keywords or categories you chose, now might be a good time to look that up. And I will show you that during the screen share. Now you can always change these. It's not locked in for life. You can change these, and a lot of people don't know this, but you can even ask KDP support to add you into up to 10 categories. You can be in 10 ebook categories. How do you create this kind of ad? Well, picking a name is very important here because you want to have an acronym for your book that you can remember. So if you want to look up all the ads for that book, for mine, the Viral Superhero Series is TVS, you will search TVS and all those books will come up. So the acronym is very important. Yes, if you named an ad incorrectly in the past, you can change that name. So TVS, SPA for auto ad, hook is the type of copy that I'm going to use, and 35 is 35-cent bid. That is what I am going to tell Amazon I am willing to pay per click. Then you're going to pick a budget, a duration, and a bid. So I am going to recommend a $5 a day bid. Don't worry. Just because you have $5 a day does not mean it's going to cost you a whole lot of money if you run 10 or 20 ads. I'm going to get into that, I believe, in the next video. 30-cent bid if your book is a standalone, 35-cent bid if it is part of a series, and then I want you to pick April 30th for the end date. These are pretty low bids because I want to keep profit in mind. You're going to choose automatic. You'll have the option of automatic or manual. You're going to choose custom, which means you're going to write the advertising copy for this. Don't worry.